All right, back at the Metrodome as we continue preparing for the Class C game between Minneota and Rushford. Prep Bowl 7. Let's pause now for station identification on the Minnesota State Prep Bowl Network.
KMSP TV, Minneapolis and St. Paul.
All right, while we continue awaiting Minneota and Rushford in this year's Class C game, Perry Williams now joins us to relive the highlights of the 1987 Class C Prep Bowl championship game.
The Class C championship game featured a battle of unbeatens. Minneota, the Vikings, 13-0 against the Superlarks of Grand Meadow, also sporting a perfect 13-0 record going into the title game. But it was Minneota who struck first. Quarterback Chris Might with a touchdown pass to Wayne Hennon and a 6-0 lead. Later, Might will look to his left and throw to his left. This time he finds Mike Fox for the touchdown, and for Might, the 100th touchdown of his brilliant high school career. On for the extra point was Tim DeBlemick. He was perfect to make it 13-0. Later, Minneota stayed on the ground. A 2-yard touchdown run by Steve Van Coolen made it 19-0 and 20-0 with DeBlemick's extra point. This time, Might will look back and throw into the end zone. The ball is tipped, but there is Bill Johnson alertly grabbing the touchdown pass for the Vikings. The extra point successful once again and a 27-0 Minneota lead. But the Superlarks did get on the scoreboard, and it was Eddie Sims going over from a couple yards out for the touchdown run to make it 27-6, and Eric Clement was perfect with the extra point to make it 27-7. But it was Minneota victorious in the Class C championship game, 27-7 over Grand Meadow.
Okay, right now you're looking at the field of the Metrodome where the teams are preparing for the Class C game. Minneota and Rushford will return with it right after this. Along with Jim Gilliland, Ted Robinson at the Metrodome, and it's the Class C game between Minneota, the Vikings, two-time defending champions, and the Trojans of Rushford, who are in the state championship for the first time. And there is Rushford, an unbeaten team, Gil.
Last year we had two unbeatens in this game. Minneota took on Grand Meadow, and Grand Meadow happens to be from the same section as Rushford. Rushford was able to defeat them this year and thus get into the title picture. They downed Grand Meadow 14-7 in the Section 1 playoffs before going on to the state tournament, where they beat Sleepy Eye St. Mary's and Medford 34-16. Minneota, well known for their passing attack. As you look at them, riding a 35-game winning streak. They have twice won this Class C championship. They're going for a third title tonight. They'll have a new man at quarterback, number 10, Boyd Van Boren. Takes over for Chris Might, who set all the state passing records over the last 2 years, and has now moved on to Bethel College, where he was a freshman quarterback this year. And Van Boren has moved in and done a good job. He has a strong arm. He's a pitcher on the baseball team, and he has learned the kind of the touch game as he's gone along and helped produce big yards. And Minneota thinks they have a better running attack to go with the passing that they showed last year and that they've always shown under Gerhard Might. So they could be a tough opponent, especially with that tournament experience.
It's interesting, in the first game we had teams that run the ball a lot, 5-1. This game we have about a 2-1 for both teams. 2 running plays to every passing play, so we could see a more wide open situation. Let's now join the Metrodome public address announcer.
Will the officials please conduct the coin toss? No. Thanks.
Forward.
going to defend the north goal. Minneota to kick off and defend the south goal. The visiting teams, champions of Section 1 are the Rushford Vikings. Their coach is Jim Reinhardt. The home team and champions of Section 5, the Minneota Vikings. And their coach is Gerhard Might. Your referee for this game is Bob Laufenberg. And now teams, if you'll come to midfield for the prep ball handshake. And we are ready for the Class C championship in football.
Well, Minneota trying to win its third straight prep ball. Rushford High School has never won a state championship in any sport. Quite a matchup with two unbeaten teams in Class C. We'll have the game for you right after this.
Back at the prep bowl, ready for the Class C kickoff. Jim Reinhardt, the coach of Rushford, on your left, and Gerhard Might, obscured there by the down marker, is the head coach of the Minneota Vikings. Well, the Gophers played in the first game, Stewart, and they couldn't use the home field advantage. Of course, this is the home of the Gophers and the Vikings, and Minneota used it well last year and the year before, going on to win the title. But Rushford presents a big challenge. Here is the opening kickoff.
Brian Hellman, 21, is the deep man for Rushford, and he will field the kick at the 6-yard line. And he is out to about the 25, where he is hit Tim DeVlaming for Minneota. And so Rushford gets the ball first. They get it just across the 25-yard line. And again, we are back now to the normal yard markings and our normal field dimensions.
Tim DeVlaming is a name that we should call quite a bit today, according to Coach Gerhard Might. He is one tough customer along the line. But Rushford did move some people back on that kickoff return, getting it out to the 25-yard line.
Dana Grimsrud, number 12, is the quarterback. And they give it into the line to Ron Sand, number 5, off the right side for a short gain.
As we look at the Rushford offense, Dana Grimsrud doubles as a point guard in the winter for a fine Rushford basketball team. Joe Rizloff, Ron Sand, and John Lamb are the rest of the backfield. Hungerholt, Schrober, Kingsley, Goodmanson, Laum, Hyman, and Baker. Along the line for Rushford, they employ a veer attack, but they will spread the field and throw the ball.
Laum and Sand are the backs behind Grimsrud. He play fakes, pitches on the option. This is Sand coming to the near side, breaks one tackle and gets something virtually out of nothing. He's out to about the 33-yard line before Eric Hennon, 24, makes the hit for Minneota.
This is what Rushford wants to do. A 3rd and 1, a 3rd and short yardage, as you see the pitch out come out. And the blocking really did not formulate there, and it was a good move to stay outside by Sand and get near the first down. But if they could get some first downs on the ground, they'll keep the ball out of Minneota's hands. And that, of course, is what they want to do. Minneota's so explosive on offense, averaging 44 points a game.
And here it is, 3rd down and short, about 3rd and 2 for Rushford. Play fake, the left-hander throws, and it's complete for a first down.
Just enough deception on that play, the fake of the handoff to freeze the defense a little bit and get the first down.
Shane Rizlov, 89, with the catch for Rushford as you look at the Minneota defense.
DeVlaming is the big name that we told you about earlier, made the opening kickoff tackle, and Tony Esping at 269 pounds anchors the line. And there's a look at the linebackers and the secondary for Minneota.
So a first down for Rushford at their 38-yard line. Grimsrud back, left-hander going long down the far side, just overthrows his receiver Brian LaFleur. A senior who was the intended receiver.
Well, a 1st and 10 situation, hoping to catch Minneota, looking for the run a little bit. And the man was open out there. LaFleur got behind the secondary. Grimsrud, the left-hander, has a nice spiral on that ball, but just a little bit too far for LaFleur.
Now to 2nd and 10, just underway, no score. Up the middle comes Sand. Drop the football. Flags are down. Minneota has the ball. David Dovry, number 44, recovered the fumble for Minneota. There was a flag down on the play, and it's typically a flag against the offensive team. It is holding, declined, and Minneota gets the turnover.
Well, we talked about Rushford doing what they wanted to do on the first series. They got a first down, but here, of course, turnovers is a no-no in any coach's book. And Sand gets wrapped there, fumbles the ball. Minneota is on it, and they take over on the 38 of Rushford.
And here comes quarterback Boyd Van Voren. In the double wing offense, you'll see two men split to each side in the Minneota offense and one running back. And that running back gets the ball, and he has good yardage. Mark Tillemans, and he's down near the 30-yard line.
Although they're known for their passing attack, they will run the ball more than we saw last year. Boyd Van Voren is the quarterback. He's a big man at 195 pounds. You saw the men that will be working with him and the offensive line.
Boy, they go to work quickly, don't they? Pass complete. That's near a first down, caught by Noel Hazard, the tight end, number 83. Noel Hazard, Jason Dahl on the tackle for Rushford.
The curious thing about Minneota, they call every play on the line of scrimmage. Van Voren will look and see how the defense is going to attack them and call the play accordingly. And Gerhard Might has trust and confidence in his group.
First down, Tillemans up the middle. And Tillemans to the 5-yard line.
And they're going no huddle offense. This is what Rushford did not want to happen. Tillemans roaring up the middle, getting the first down on the 5. Minneota's ready to go, and Rushford is struggling to get their people on and off the field.
The goal line defense just got in the game. Play fake. Van Voren wants to throw, and he is incomplete. Dive on the far side, and just out of the hands of the intended receiver.
Rushford defensive people along the front, Larson, Rasmussen, Baker, Dahl, and the linebackers and secondary.
It's Craig Bicey, 84, was the intended receiver on that pass. He couldn't hang on, and it's second down and goal. Here's Tillemans into the line, getting virtually nothing.
Big third down now for Rushford defense. This is what happened a little bit in last year's Prep Bowl in the Class C championship. Minneota got all of their 27 points in the first half before Grand Meadow made a lot of adjustments. And Rushford's trying to prevent that same thing from happening here, because Grand Meadow won the second half duel last year, but they struggled early, and there's a touchdown run.
That's how Minneota did it. Mark Tillemans taking them down most of the way, and Minneota scores less than 4 minutes into the game. They go 38 yards after recovering the fumble.
It's just the pitch to Tillemans. He tried the middle last time, and that hole, he goes in. He doesn't get touched on the shoulder pad even until he gets to the goal line. So credit the offensive line for some fine work there. Minneota tries to convert the extra point.
And the line drive is booted through there by DeVleming. And so Minneota takes advantage of the game's first turnover, and we have 8:28 to play in the first quarter. The undefeated two-time champion Minneota Vikings lead Rushford 7-0.
Seven to nothing Minneota as they strike quickly, less than 4 minutes into the game. The Minneota Vikings from the western part of Minnesota, about 10 miles or so from Marshall. If you're familiar with the geography, Rushford down there in the southeast corner. Yes, Winona would be their nearest big town neighbor. Always a good basketball school, Rushford. Lost in the finals of the section tournament to Waseca last year, and they have a lot of players back, so this could be a double sport state tournament year for them, although I'm sure there are a lot of fine teams down there in the southeastern part of the state that will have something to say about it. Rushford now trying to regroup here.
Of course, this is nothing new for Minneota. They've outscored their opponents in the first quarter this year 161-6 coming into this game.
I'm sure Rushford felt that they had to hang on to that ball and not commit the turnovers if they're going to have a chance to beat this powerful Minneota experienced ball club.
To the far side, fielded just in bounds at the 15-yard line, and run back to the 30 by John Long. Running back Kurt Beisey made
Kind of
the
a
hit for Minneota.
curious kickoff formation. Devlaming kicks from the right hash mark at least the first 2 times. This ball he booted way over to the left corner. In fact, it would have gone out of bounds had they chose to let it go. But Rushford returns the ball, and Lom brings it out across the 30. So not bad field position for Rushford.
Rushford now down in the hole to a team that has won 36 consecutive games as Minneota. Dana Grimsrud rolling to his left and throwing to his left and completing it to the 40. And across the 40 and out to the 45 goes Jason Dahl. James Lenn making the tackle for Minneota.
6'3", 185 sophomore Jason Dahl shows some good wheels here as he gets away from the linebacker and picks up the first down. Grimsrud, with a man coming up on him, lays it right in there. The Rushford buses made it up today.
They did.
Despite the weather, everybody's here. But Minneota, scheduled to have 7 bus loads of fans come in, only had reports from 3 precincts as of game time. Big gainer.
Jason Dahl on the grab again from Grimsrud, and he's inside the 40 of Minneota. James Lean again on the hit for the Vikings, and so Grimsrud throwing twice for big gains.
Rolls to the left the first time, and this is what the quick-footed quarterback can do for you, throwing back against the grain. Man is open, Dahl again, and he gets some extra yards after the catch.
So quickly, Grimsrud has Rushford to the 36-yard line of Minneota and a first down. And run a draw play to Sand. He has about 5 yards. Ron Sand, a senior, 5'10", just 145 pounds.
Offensive line does a good job here disguising it. It lets the defensive line come in, so Sand has a few spots to choose from when he gets the ball, and he gets that 5-yard gain.
And Minneota, which really has 2 different defenses, they just brought in 9 new players on defense after that play. It is 2nd and 5 at the 31-yard line. Grimsrud to the end zone, double coverage and overthrown and incomplete. Trying to hit Brian LaFleur with the pass.
That play was well covered, and I think Grimsrud saw that and just kind of threw it up high, where if anyone was going to get it, maybe LaFleur could do that. Grimsrud feeling the pressure on this play. The Vikings are in there. Oh boy, 3 blue shirts on him just as he released the ball. Big play, 3rd and 5 for Rushford.
7-0 Minneota, but Rushford in Minneota territory here. 3rd and 5 at the 31. And Sand off the right side got very little. He was tripped up at the line.
Thinking maybe here that they think they're in 4-down territory. Inside the 30, there isn't much to gain by punting. And now it is 4th and 3, and it looks as though Rushford will go for it.
You're looking at Tony Esping of Minneota. Tips the scales at 267 pounds.
And believe it or not, that's down 30-some pounds from last year. Tony worked hard to get himself in football shape. He was a big enough man, but had to get in shape.
4th down, pass to Dahl. He got by a man, and Dahl is going to be out of bounds, I believe, at about the 1-foot line.
We'll mark it on about the 1-foot line. The official in the corner looked to the other official to see if he thought he was in, and neither one signaled touchdown, and I think that's the correct call. It looked like he was out, but let's look. Here's Dahl trying to beat the defense into the corner of the end zone. He didn't get there.
And he was literally on the 1-foot line. He lost about a foot on the mark. But here's Rushford trying to tie the game. Grimsrud. And they give it in, and there's a touchdown off the left side. I believe John Lom was the ball carrier. Yes, it was. John Lom, 32 on the touchdown to get Rushford back on the board.
There's a credit to the Rushford group. They come right back down the field and move them back just enough for Lom to get over the goal line. Quick handoff. The point here is not to lose yardage if you don't get in. And Lom just gets a little bit of help there from his offensive line. They push the pile enough to count 6 points And they will also try the single point kick here to tie the game.
Aaron Hungerholt is the kicker. And it's good. So we have 6 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. Minneota in the first quarter. Minneota had given up only 6 points all year in the first quarter. But Rushford goes down the field on him here, and we're tied at 7.
Jason Dahl, good-looking sophomore receiver, had 3 big pass plays on that drive, and this is the one that took the Trojans down to the 1-foot line. And they went in from there. Lom taking it that last tough yard against, well, you can count 6 blue shirts trying to resist the front wall of the Rushford Trojans, but they score, and we're tied up.
And so now the kickoff coming from Rushford. Minneota's deep back is Eric Hennon at number 24. He'll field this at the 13-yard line. Up the middle, a lot of room. He has 1 man to beat. Outside, and it was Grimsrud, the quarterback, who slowed him up and allowed the rest of his coverage team to drag down Eric Hennon, but not before he gets all the way to the 29-yard line of Rushford.
Well, that was about a 9-man wedge in front of Hennon. Those guys really formed a great wall, and Hennon doesn't get touched until he gets out to near the midfield stripe. Nobody's laid a hand on him yet, and there finally 36 puts a glove on him, and then Grimsrud does a little rodeo work here, and finally they get him down, but they're deep in Rushford territory.
Wow, good bounce there on that fumbled pitch out, and Tillemans got a fortuitous hop right up into his hands and was able to gain yardage on the play.
This might have been a big play if he had fielded the pitch cleanly, but once it hit the ground, then you have to consider Minneota lucky to retain possession. On this turf, anything can happen when that ball comes loose.
Usually that second hop is a deadly one. You got a good second hop there. Now they give on a counter play, and it is stopped for no gain. James Lean on the counter play. Gains no yardage. It's going to be 3rd down and long, and let's go down to the sidelines and Dick Bramer.
Thanks, Ted. Minneota the last couple of years has had Chris Meidel on the team as the quarterback. Now you're watching, you're helping out upstairs. How is it different this year than in the last couple of years?
Well, it is making me awful nervous. I'm not used to these 7-7 games. It's a lot of fun, though, coming back and watching a very good football team and one of Dad's powerhouses again.
Chris is just completing his freshman football season at Bethel. You were saying before, the players and the fans aren't used to seeing a team come back against Minneota.
I don't think so. They had a great drive from Rushford, and they passed all the way down. You look up at the crowd, and everyone's just staying kind of a little uptight. But it's going to be a great game. We expected a great game, and it's a lot of fun right now.
The coach's son watching and helping out coaching here this morning and this afternoon in the Class C championship game. Let's go back upstairs.
The first down pass was from Van Boren to Noel Hazard. Here's Tillemans up the middle, and Tillemans is inside the 5. The big 3rd down play was the pass from Boyd Van Boren to Noel Hazard. Here's Tillemans on 1st down.
Well, this play has sure worked well for Minneota as they break open a big hole again and drive it down to the 1-yard line.
That's marked at the 1. It's 2nd and goal. Actually, 1st and goal, and the ball pops free. And it's recovered for a touchdown in the end zone by Minneota. Craig Bicey, 84, recovers the fumble by Van Boren on the sneak in the end zone for the Minneota touchdown.
It looked like Van Boren was trying to do that spin and reach his arm across the goal line to break the plane here. He comes out of the stack, and he's flinging the ball over, just lost control over it. And fortunately, again for Minneota, they're right in good position. Bicey recovers. Now a chance for Devlamic to make it 14-7.
And he does. So Minneota, after the excellent kickoff return by Eric Hennon, goes 29 yards to score. And they now lead Rushford 14-7.
Craig Bicey is normally a receiver and is used to scoring touchdowns, but not in this manner. Boyd Van Boren, the quarterback, trying to sneak it in. He thinks he's got a little gap there and then tries to spin out of it and loses control of the ball, but Bicey beats his teammate actually to recovering that fumble, and Minneota leads it 14-7. Again, Devlamic will line up on the far right hash mark for the kickoff.
What's interesting to me was that the play was not blown dead. I mean, oftentimes you hear that quickly down there at the goal line when the forward progress is stopped. And it turns out to be a good break for Minneota. There is the kick by Devlamic. It's a pretty good foot into this one, and it's fielded at the 10-yard line by Brian Helleland. And he is out across the 30, giving Rushford decent field position, but Minneota has had to go just 38 and 29 yards to score their 2 touchdowns thus far. Rushford went 69 yards to get theirs. 33-yard line will be where Rushford will start with first down.
Rushford's had the ball twice. The first time they were moving it, but fumbled, and Minneota took it in for a touchdown. And a very nice 60-plus yard drive on their second possession.
Here's Grimsrud. Throwing to the far side, incomplete. Too high. Intended for Rizlov. Shane Rizlov.
Larry Thompson, the coach of Lakeville, made a point at the press conference last night. There are 10 good teams here, and most of them so good that they aren't used to playing from behind. And whatever team can pick up a knack for that might have an edge over their opponent. You saw Minneota answer the challenge. They haven't been behind much all year.
Was a Minneota club that has scored almost 600 points this year in 13 games, and there's a sack as Grimsrud taken down by David Dovry.
Minneota did come from behind against Appleton in their 3rd game of the season, and since then they've been virtually unstoppable. They haven't scored less than 40 points only once.
That's the game that Gerhard Meitz has made his team a team this year, because they were tested. It's really the only game they were tested in all year, and they struggled to beat Appleton.
Aside from that, the closest game they played was 30-8 over Battle Lake in the state tournament 2nd round.
3 minutes to go in the first quarter. 3rd and long yardage. Grimsrud in trouble again. Now throwing it up the middle of the field. It's up for grabs, and it's intercepted inside the 50. And it's picked off by Noel Hazer.
That's the kind of play where the receiver and the quarterback have to be in sync. Total ad lib here. LaFleur is the man that Grimsrud was trying to hit. He's 5'11", but he can't get back. The ball is thrown over his head and surrounded by blue shirts, and the interception.
Noel Hazard, I'll get his name right eventually, makes the interception. On the carry, it's Hennon. Eric Hennon carrying for Minneota, and he is inside the 45 of Rushford. Both quarterbacks, Van Boren as Corey Baker made the hit for Rushford there. Both quarterbacks have been excellent at avoiding the interception this year. Grimsrud, only the 9th time he's been intercepted. 23 touchdown passes. Van Voren going for it all. And it's a leaping catch, I believe, by Minneota inside the 20.
I think Bicey made the catch, and that was a challenge out there. Was it Bicey or Hennon? Bicey.
Yeah, jumped Grimsrud for that ball.
Grimsrud, the point guard, trying to play defensive back here. We won't have a chance to look at it again because Minneota's right up at the line of scrimmage, but Bicey did a great job wrestling that ball away. It was anybody's ball up in the air.
Van Boren rolling right, and the flat pass incomplete. Intended for James Lean. Now let's watch the long pass to Bicey.
There's the ball in the air, but Bicey well covered. Grimsrud thinks he's got an interception. He reaches in, gets a hand on the ball, but Bicey had the position, was able to get leverage and pull it away.
Really was simultaneous until they hit the ground. Grimsrud played that as well as he could without interfering. 2nd down and 10, and up the middle and inside the 5. For Minneota goes Mark Tillemans.
Well, it seems like whenever Rushford comes up with a couple of big defensive plays, Minneota goes back to that old middle of the line game, and they blew them back that time, and Tillemans carries for 15+ yards again.
And they're going with no huddle again, just long enough for the officials to set the ball in play. And in into the line and down near the goal line goes Tillemans. Jason Dahl on the hit for Rushford.
Tillemans trying that tackle play again, and Rushford buries him in about the 1.5.
And now it is second down and goal, and Van Vooren on a fake, gonna roll to his right and throw to a wide open man. Lean for the touchdown. James Lean on the catch on a 1-yard touchdown pass, and Minneota putting on an offensive clinic here in the first quarter.
You have so many options off these formations, and Rushford decides to play for that middle of the line run again, and Van Vooren stretched the defense rolling right, made him think that there might be a play toward the corner, and then dumped it in the middle for the touchdown.
Van Vooren holding here for De Vlaming. Sidewinds it through there. We have 1 minute and 27 seconds to play in the first quarter, and we've already had 4 touchdowns, 3 by Minneota.
Here's Van Vooren again on the touchdown play, faking it to the up man and then rolling to the right. The defense is spread thin. Lean is in the seam there. Really only a pass of about 4 yards, but good for the touchdown, and it's 21-7.
That's amazing to me, Jim, to watch Minneota play, is that Van Vooren, the quarterback, calls all the plays. It's virtually unheard of in football at any level now to have a quarterback call his own plays. And I asked Gerhard Might about that. He seemed kind of taken aback that I would even question that. The guy's an intelligent guy. Our offense is there. There's no reason why he shouldn't be able to call the plays. But what an advantage in this age of situation substitution it is to have a quarterback that can do that.
And a quarterback who's 6'1", 195, converted from an offensive tackle. That's where he played on offense the first 2 years of Minneota's championships, but he had that strong arm, and he's the quarterback now doing a great job.
This is Helleland deep inside the 5 for Rushford, and he is back to the 27, 28-yard line. One of the differences in this game thus far is Scott Johnson made the tackle for Minneota. Minneota's 3 touchdown drives have all started in Rushford territory.
Now Rushford, who have had the poor field position, is going to be moved back again, I think. Well, maybe not. We saw a flag down.
Now those beanbags look like flags today. I did that in the last game too. And throw them where the play ends, which I've never seen before.
KMSP Television has purchased the broadcast rights of the 1988 Minnesota State High School Prep Bowl. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and account of this copyrighted telecast is permitted without the written authority of KMSP Television or the Minnesota State High School League.
Never doubt Gilly. You're right, there was a flag down to the clip. Against Rushford. Backs it up to the 13-yard line.
So Grimsrud will try to do something about this poor position. Has receivers both ways and a man on the slot to the right side.
1 minute and 5 seconds left in the first quarter as Grimsrud keeps it right. Gains close to 5 yards. James Lean on the tackle for Minneota.
The enrollment at Minneota 149 and at Rushford 148. So I'd say they belong in the same class. The population of the cities is only 8 persons apart too. 1,468 in Minneota and 1,460 in Rushford.
Rushford's boys track team last year was in the state tournament. It's the only school or only team that the school's ever had at a state tournament until this year's football team. Sand takes the pitch, got some room. And Sand has a first down across the 25-yard line before Tim De Vlaming brings him down.
Rushford doing what they have to, getting a couple of first downs, getting out of the hole. Grimsrud makes another good decision there, waited until the man closed on him and pitched it to Sand, who's able to get out over the 25 and the first down.
This will likely be the last play of the first quarter. 21-7 Minneota leading, and it's a first down for Rushford at their 28. Give into the line with flags. The lead thrown up. That's a keeper, and Grimsrud is tackled for a loss as the first quarter comes to an end. And so we are through one quarter of our Class C. state championship game at the Metrodome with quite a first quarter. Pretty good show put on by the Minneota Vikings as they lead the Rushford Trojans 21-7. We're back at the Metrodome. There's Jim Reinhardt, the head coach of Rushford. Gerhard Might, the head coach of Minneota, who's out in his team's defensive huddle during the quarter break.
Jim Reinhardt was kind of funny at the press conference last night. I asked him how he was going to handle these multiple Minneota formations that they don't often see at this level, and he just said, hey, we'll go out, match up, do the best we can. We'll try to catch it before they do.
Well, I can tell you, this has been Rushford's play. Jason Dahl gets it all the way out near midfield. They can get the ball to him with some field in front of him. He's dangerous. Grimsrud does it again.
Minneota with a very aggressive defense. They just fake a little inside play and pinch them a little bit, and Dahl slips out there, gets the ball in stride. Well delivered by Grimsrud, and he's able to turn it into another big gainer.
That's a tough pass to be accurate with when you're a left-hander rolling right. Put it right on the money. First down now. Rushford out to their own 48. And on the option, they pitch to Sand left, but he's in big trouble and hit for a loss. Now that, I think, is a flag. A little bit hesitant, but I think that's a flag that came flying in late.
It might be a face mask, because I didn't see any blockers out there that would nope, a bad block.
Illegal block against Rushford. And we'll see it. It had to be late in the play because the flag was thrown after he was down. Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
wow. And you know what? It's nothing against the young man, but I'm glad the officials call that, because that's the type of dangerous block where someone can get badly hurt.
And Vlamic did a good job avoiding really the block. Wasn't a lot of contact there, and Vlamic able to make the stop and draw the penalty.
So a 15-yard mark off against Rushford. And that will move the ball all the way back to the 29-yard line. Rushford.
So in effect, a 19-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 15 yards back from the spot of the foul. So
Rushford now is facing 1st and 29 from their own 29. This is not something you practice in your offense. And Grimsrud is in trouble, and he'll be sacked. Tony Esping, 78, in there for the sack.
He was trying to set up a long pass on this play to Hungerholt. Looking down that right side, waiting for Hungerholt to break to the middle of the field, but he hadn't quite made his move yet, and the traffic closed in. Grimsrud could not get away.
They lose 4 more. It's now 2nd and 33. Grimsrud rolling left, hits Dahl, who can't hang on when he's hit and turned by Eric Hennen. And that will bring up 3rd down.
Tough catch there for Dahl. He had to try to reach down and grab it around the knees, and Hennen put the hit on him right as he touched the ball. It came loose, and now it's 3rd and 33 for the Trojans.
Again, Minneota now changing defense. They bring in 9 new people on this down.
Grimsrud again feeling the pressure, and there Dahl reaching down, actually had kind of bobbled it before him and even hit him. And that makes it very tough.
But Grimsrud's having no chance here. Dumps it out on the far side, and the play gains virtually nothing on a tackle by Rick Gosson. Pass caught by Helleland.
I think they tried to set up a screen here, but Minneota charges in so quickly that there's no time for that blocking to set up. You can see they're all over.
That's exactly right, Gilly. No time. Tony Prinzen also there for Minneota. 3rd and 33. That's one of those where I'd like to tell them at home, you make the call, right? You like to call 3rd and 33. Punt upcoming here for Rushford, and Minneota's likely to get good field position again. John Lomb is the punter. kicks a line drive right through the legs of an on-rushing man, and it takes a skip by the deep back for Minneota. And we're going to get a roughing the kicker penalty as well. Ball bounds all the way down near the 20-yard line, but with the aggressive rush that came close to blocking the kick, Minneota runs into the kicker.
I think that the lazy snap helped a little bit here. Minneota man thought he was going to get in there and block the punt because got back there so late. And was it Esping? I think it was Esping that collided with the kicker, Laum.
72, Mark Fontaine.
Fontaine, okay, 72, not 78. Sorry about that, Tony.
Well,
I don't know if it must not be an automatic first down or something. Otherwise, Rushford wouldn't be discussing it even.
He came awfully close to blocking it. That was the amazing thing. It looked as if the low line drive kick by Laum went right between Fontaine's outstretched arms.
It was 4th and 33, so if it's just a 15-yard penalty, then...
Well, the thing I was going to say is if it is an automatic first down, it's an awful penalty. I mean, you don't go for a block when it's 4th and 33 and even risk giving them the ball back. Now, the option they may be discussing here is to re-punt the ball, although the first punt was pretty good. I mean, put back Minneota all the way up to the 20-yard line.
I got to believe it's a first down. No? John Lean, our spotter, says no. So we'll put him on the spot. Now they are going to kick it again. It's the down box stays at 4.
That's an interesting call. No, it is a first down. Okay, it is a first down.
All right, now they turn over the down marker.
Here it is
At
again.
other levels of football, of course, it's an automatic first down. There's the collision. Fontaine hits Laum.
All right, it'll be Rushford ball when we come back. Minneota leading 21-7.
Pepsi-Cola Company. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
Well done, Gilly.
Thanks. I hope that fit. Okay. Grimsrud with new life, as you say, on 4th and 33. That's kind of a mistake you don't want to make, especially with the weapons that they have on offense.
Yeah. You don't want to ever temper the aggressiveness, and it was a nice effort by Fontaine to try and block the kick. And just on 4th and 33, you'd rather see him fall down than run into the kicker. And so Rushford keeps the ball with a first down from their 42. Quick slant pass off the hands of LaFleur, incomplete.
Take a look at LaFleur again, trying to do the old Anthony Carter play here, and I don't think Grimsrud got a real good look at him because of the traffic up front.
This is like watching an NFL team. Rushford, they've pretty much given up the run already. Throwing the ball consistently. Kind of a very pro-style set and split in both directions. Boy, Grimsrud is hit as he took the snap from center. That's incredible penetration by Fontaine, the same man that ran into the kicker. He hits Grimsrud before Grimsrud could even peel away from the center.
5'9", 195.
Look at how quickly he's on it.
Tony Fontaine. Grimsrud is the quick-footed one that they like to have running this option, of course. He just could not get that foot loose. The play went nowhere. 3rd and 12.
Somebody had to block that man and didn't do it. 3rd down now and 13 for Rushford at their 39. 9:25 to go in the second quarter. 21-7 Minneota. Grimsrud to Dahl, incomplete at midfield. Van Born was on the coverage.
Dahl thinks he should have had that ball. There was a man going deep that pulled a couple of defenders with him. Dahl came underneath there and had enough room to get the first down up the sideline had he been able to hang on to it.
Oh, a little deflection there, right?
Man got the hand in there and spoiled the play for Minneota.
All right, now another kick coming from John Long. Eric Hennon and James Lean are the deep receivers here for Minneota. And another very high snap. And a fair catch at the 30-yard line by Lean. If they ever have to block a kick, Minneota's going to have a good chance on those very high snaps to Rushford. Timeout, 9:16 to go in the first half. Minneota leading 21-7. Tell me, Gilly, aren't you glad that that is there today?
Yes, I am. I would not. Thinking the same thing about. I just think it's a good football environment here, and those of us who love baseball will always probably prefer an outdoor setting on a nice day. But
all right, Boyd Van Boren starting. Minneota in their territory to start a drive for the first time, and Mark Tillemans is hitting right at the line to gain nothing. Let's go down to the sidelines now and Dick Bramer.
Thanks, Ted. We're with Lester Mitchell, who is the star of the Rushford track team that won the state championship last year. Lester, is this as exciting as participating in the state track meet?
Yeah, I think so, because it brings back good memories, you know, because I was happy when I went there, and I'm just hoping that they will win, so they'll be as happy as I was.
You're not the least bit worried the fact your team is behind right now?
No, because it's the first time they came here in the state tournament in football, so I'm not that worried, but even if they win, it would be even better for me, you know, because it's the first time they've come here, and I would like it to be the best, you know, just close to me.
Lester, go back and enjoy the ball game. Let's go back upstairs.
Dick, thank you. First down carry by Eric Hennon. Here's Van Boren swinging it out incomplete to James Lean.
penalty marker down on the play of Van Boren trying to get it to Lean. Rushford has been able to stop some of that. Was very close to a lateral, too.
Yes.
Been able to stop them on first down quite a bit, but Minneota just seems to be able to come up with a big play every other play.
Now, this may be the best thing that's happened to Rushford in the game is the holding call in Minneota. Going to back him up. I think Rushford would take the penalty here.
Ten yards will make it 1st and 20. Very important series for Rushford. They don't want to get 3 touchdowns behind against Minneota, a team that hasn't given up more than 14 points all season.
1st and 22 now from the 30-yard line. Here's the swing pass to Lean. He's got a blocker in front to the far side, and Lean gets the penalty back. That's really what you want to do on the first down play. Just get the penalty back. Now they'll have 2nd and about 10.
A little bit like the play we just saw. Out on the flat to Lean with a blocker in front of him. He uses his man well. Just pulls his way up for a 10-yard gain.
Flags as the snap is made on 2nd and 10. And a penalty on Minneota. Illegal procedure will back him up 5 more.
Must not quite have been set before that ball was snapped.
It's interesting the number of plays and penalties. This is a far different cry from the 9-man game, which was a lot of running. Not as much of not as many stoppages of play. And Van Boren wastes no time making up his mind, though. That's the nice thing about him. He's a decisive guy when he gets in that huddle to call the play. 2nd and 15. They run a little shovel pass up the middle and a big gainer. All the way inside the 40-yard line of Rushford on a beautifully disguised shovel pass to Craig Bicey. That is a gorgeous play when it's run well, and that was run well.
Rushford's had to look at a variety of plays run by Minneota, but they hadn't seen this one yet. And as you mentioned, Ted, it worked so well. Hennon.
Yeah, 24 instead of 84.
And Boren is the traffic pulling to the left, drawing the defense, and then Hennon quickly up the middle with a couple of blockers. Takes it well into Rushford territory to the 37.
We have an injured Rushford player, and while they tend to Brian LaFleur, we will pause here at the Metrodome in the 2nd quarter with Minneota leading 21-7. The injured player for Rushford is Brian LaFleur, and he has an injury to his lower right leg. And We'll take a look at the play again. Ooh, just got caught the wrong way in that pile. And you can see that is if it's the ankle, it's about as painful an injury as you can suffer. He's a two-way player for Rushford, so it'll be a difficult loss.
You're going to immobilize that ankle, I would think, put some ice on it and make a determination later as to the severity of the injury, but it certainly looks as if Brian will not be playing anymore today. Look at the Rushford rooting section. Our cameraman Dale Paulson gives you that perspective.
He's been trying to sit down on that job ever since we started this morning, hasn't he? Right, Dale? Hopefully what they will be able to do is put on the air cast. And having gone through that once in my life, I can tell you that is not a very pleasant feeling. And it's going to be a terrible way for Brian LaFleur to end his playing days at Rushford High School. They're bringing out some sort of a stretcher to remove him. We'll pause now for station identification. This is the Minnesota State Prep Bowl Network.
KMSP TV, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Along with Jim Gilliland, Ted Robinson, we have 8:04 to play in the second quarter of our Class C championship game. Minneota is leading Rushford by a score of 21-7. Well, the Gopher basketballer should be just about tipping it off, Gilly. It's Ball State today. That's your sport.
Rick Majerus leading Ball State now. The ex-Marquette coach.
Gophers, if they can win today, they've got a stretch of pretty easy non-conference games to start the season. This should be the toughest one of their early season stretch.
Ball State finished 500 last year and brings, I think, 4 of their 5 starters back, plus had a good recruiting year. So it'll be interesting to see which team gets out of the gate faster. As you say, the next 3 or 4 Minnesota should be able to handle, but then they'll come up against some teams of their own caliber on the road against Marquette and Drake. You know, they play Kansas State at home. Trying to prepare for that tough Big Ten schedule.
Drake was beaten last night in their first game by one of the Louisianas, north, east, west, or south. Some combination of them knocked off Drake last night in their opener. They have a new coach, Tom Abetamarco, formerly an assistant to Jim Valvano at North Carolina State. This week's blockbuster movie lineup on Channel 9. The Verdict. Paul Newman, Code of Silence on Tuesday. That Was Then, This Is Now. Taps, very fine movie on Thursday. And Perry Williams' favorite, Bad News Bears Go to Japan on Friday. I think Perry knows every line of that movie, doesn't he, Gilly?
That's that goes along with the Halleck Bears were the Good News Bears today. And the Bad News Bears, not to be confused with the Bad News Bears, who are on their way to Japan. We'll see them on Friday.
There's Jim Reinfeldt right alongside Brian LaFleur, who is being wheeled off on a stretcher, and several of the Minneota players now over to offer whatever condolence they can as LaFleur leaves, a senior.
He just joined it. It is an ankle problem for Brian LaFleur. Possible fracture there, we would guess, from the way they're treating it, but very painful.
Well, now we'll go back to the football game. It's first down and 10 for Minneota at the Rushford 38, leading 21-7 are the Vikings. Into the double wing set, Van Warren calling signals. And he's throwing long down the far side, and it's caught inside the 10. Noel Hazard on the coverage by Grimsrud, and Hazard comes up with the catch, and it's first and goal, Minneota.
Well, maybe they think Dana Grimsrud is going to get tired from going both ways. That ball was just laid out over the outside shoulder, well thrown. Grimsrud, and also back on the coverage, Brian Helleland. just got turned around the wrong way, and Hazard was able to take it down and advance it to 1st and goal.
From the 6, Tillemans right over the left side, and he bowls his way. And he is stopped at about the 1-yard line as Corey Baker, 16, leading the charge for Rushford.
This play has had tremendous success. They've stopped it a couple of times, but again does what it's supposed to there. It gets 5 of the 6 yards.
And Tillemans gets the rest off the right side. And Minneota continues to put on a show. They have had the ball 4 times, and they have scored 4 touchdowns. This one a 70-yard drive. Tillemans with his 2nd touchdown of the day. And Minneota not giving Rushford any chance to get hope going here in this first half as DeVlaming kicks the extra point. And it's 28-7 to Minneota.
Just a straight power play here off the right side. Little crease. And Tillemans follows it into the end zone for the score, upping the margin to 21 points now for Minneota.
What's impressive about Minneota thus far, Jim, is the efficiency of Boyd Van Voren, the quarterback. 7 out of 9 for 103 yards, and they haven't all been safe passes. He's been incredibly accurate during the year. Van Voren completed well over 50% of his passes, in fact close to 60%. What amazed me, look at what Van Voren did during the year. He threw almost 250 passes, had only 9 interceptions. That's an outstanding ratio.
Gerhard Might felt that he likes this team a lot because of the combination of run and pass. They were more of a passing team last year. Now they can do it all, and it's a real credit to the program there at Minneota, now in its 8th year under Gerhard Might, that they can bring a team back 3 successive years, because all of the players on this field, none of them could have been older than sophomore when Minneota won a championship 2 years ago. And so it takes more than just talented players. It takes a cohesive program, and that's what they have going at Minneota.
Hellerlin will run the ball back from the 5-yard line for Rushford, and he is out across the 30. Ryan Hellerlin down by Chris Cloyes, 23 for Minneota.
Nothing fancy about the return, just a north-south run up the middle, trying to follow that wedge. And the men from the outside get in behind the wedge and trip up Hellerlin as he crosses the 30.
7:15 to play in the first half. Rushford can't get too discouraged. That's what they must be fighting now, is the discouragement of seeing Minneota score so easily. And it's still in the first half. Rushford moved the ball, 1 long drive for a touchdown. They give it here to Ron Sand, and he gets a good gain on first down.
Ron Sand weighs just 145 pounds, but he takes it, really hit the hole hard that time. Sometimes you might expect a man of that stature to use a little more finesse, but not so, according to Coach Jim Reinhardt there. Sand will battle you all the way.
2nd down and 4 now at the 38-yard line for the Trojans of Rushford and White. Grimsrud again hit as he gives it. This time it is an end around to Hungerholt. He has a blocker in front. He has a first down and more. And Aaron Hungerholt gets it all the way down inside the 45-yard line of Minneota.
Just a great play by Grimsrud. He was just a fraction of a second away from being tackled there and had the presence to bring it back and get it off to Hungerholt, who picks up a nice block here on the play. And number 16, Corey Baker, right there. And then finesses his way for another 5 yards down inside Minneota territory to the 44.
It was an interesting end around because he had no lineman blocking, no pulling lineman of any sort. He had the 1 wideout Baker blocking for him, and that was it. Sand gets the ball, nice hole off the left side, and Ron Sand gets it down inside the 40.
And Rushford could put up a touchdown here and then keep Minneota from striking back. They'll have a lot of confidence going in at halftime. Grimsrud fakes it to the first man, and then Sam finds a seam. Gets through for 8 yards. Good gain on first down.
Well, the 2nd down and 2 now at the 36-yard line of Minneota. 5:25 to play in the half. Grimsrud drops the snap and is in trouble. Gonna try to get out. He's still on his feet and completes the pass. Great play by Grimsrud. He gets a first down out of it on a completion. James lean on the hit. The pass caught by Jim Larson, 83.
Well, the first good play he made was reaching down and picking the ball up without touching his knee, because of course he would have been down there in high school ball. And then he just shows enough speed here and athletic ability to avoid the rush and try that one out sometime.
Whew. Put a lot on that ball, didn't he?
Yeah, he was running full speed. Had to be tired by the time he got that far outside, but lobbed it down there for the first down.
Straight give to Sand to the 20. And Sand is pile driven into the carpet, but he has a first down. Jerry Storling on the hit.
Sand bounces right back up, at 145 pounds. Some people will be able to do this to you. You get a nice low tackle here on the play. And boom, turns him upside down on the top of his shoulder pads. Big hit for Jerry Storling.
And we have a timeout taken now by Minneota on defense with 4:55 remaining in the first half. They had given up only 6 points in the first quarter of all of their games all year. Rushford got a touchdown in the first quarter, and now threatening here. Minneota giving up an average of just 6 points a game during their 13 wins this year. That's maybe, Jim, what amazes me the most about what Gerhard Might has done this year, is that with a club that was so dominant to win 2 successive state championships and blowing most every opponent out this year, that he has kept them hungry.
And he has said the difference has been the line play. The last 2 years they've had to finesse people, but this year the line is stronger than ever, and that enables them to dominate both offensively and defensively. I think that Rushford's giving them something that they haven't seen either, and that's a good passing attack to go against their defense. Rushford also throws the ball well, and they could climb back in it if they can advance the last 18 yards here before halftime.
Love it. We have to wait for Gerhard to get to the sidelines there, or to the huddle, before they can run the play. Here is Rushford now on 1st and 10. Grimsrud, the quick slant caught by Hungerholt, and he is at the 10-yard line. Storling with the tackle for Minneota. 9-yard gain. It's
a real good play, a real good distance to pick up 9 yards. It gives them a 2nd and 1, and they should have quite a few plays here now to see. They'll in fact have 7 downs to get it to the goal line from here.
You see how Hungerholt kind of caught that ball right on his fingertips and threw it into his body. 2nd down, short yardage play. Somebody jumped left side for Rushford. And that hurts, because that play is almost as close as you get to a freebie when you've got 2nd and 1 there inside the 10. But now we'll get back up to 2nd and 6.
Take a look at the left side of the line for Rushford, leaving just a little bit too early. Officials for this Class C championship game: Bob Laufenberger of Redwood Falls, Gary Hess of Redwood Falls, Dave Holman of Redwood Falls, and Dave Madsen of Redwood Falls.
2nd down and 6 now. The ball back to the 14-yard line with 4:15 to play in the half.
Something tells me those 4 have worked together before.
And the quick slant intended for Dahl, and it's broken up by DeVlaming, the nose tackle. Got his arms up. And now Rushford is looking at 3rd and 6.
There you see Grimsrud trying to slip it through there. We haven't heard from Jason Dahl since his success on the touchdown drive. Grimsrud tried to slide it in there that time, and now it is 3rd and 6.
Big play for Rushford here in the first half. They'd love to put this in the end zone. Grimsrud in trouble, option pitch. And they get the first down, and they drop the ball. But it looks like Rushford is there to recover Brian Helleland's fumble. He was stripped of the ball as he was cutting back on what looked to be a touchdown run.
I think Andy Hyam, number 73, fell back on the ball for Rushford, but in the process they may have lost the first down.
And they lost another player. There's another Rushford man down ahead of the play and hurt and in some pain.
Here's the cut up inside by Helleland. There you see the ball flip out. It rolls back 3 yards. Number 73, Hyam, I think, is going to be the guy that ends up with it. try to spot where the injury comes in. And a 60.
Chase Kingsley, number 66.
The big lineman there,
and
yeah.
He got cut down low. I don't really know how that happened, but he got cut down low, and that's what we mentioned earlier about those illegal blocks. You just hate seeing blocks that low because players get hurt badly that way. Kingsley got cut down there in that wild scramble.
Jim Reinhardt out, the coach concerned.
They got the first down, recovering the fumble. They do get that 1st and goal, but you know, for Jim Reinhardt, no matter how important this game may seem, first time ever, it is a terrible feeling for him to be sitting out here twice and a half to lose young men.
Let's take a look. There it is. He's trying to avoid getting contact there, and a man rolled right in under him and must have rolled up the back of his leg and caught him in a bad spot.
It was just, that was an unfortunate accident. There's 2 players that happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time when that ball popped free. And this appears to be another lower leg injury. Chase Kingsley. He is a senior. .351 to play in the first half, and it just is so hard for Jim Reinhardt to be concerned about putting the ball in the end zone and getting his team back in the game when he's kneeling by the side of fallen players. There's your score with .351 to play in a first half that hasn't moved all that quickly because of the number of plays, the number of passes, and the unfortunate injuries that have occurred now twice to Rushford here in this first half. We've got nice seats right here on the 50-yard line, along with Jim Gilliland, Ted Robinson, and our crew. Perry Williams and Dick Brame are also with us. Dick will be joining you for the Class A game later today, in which his half of his alma mater, I guess, Staples of the Staples Motley pairing, will be playing Lakeville. Next up after this game will be Breckenridge and Morris, neighbors from West Central Minnesota, and they'll be playing for the Class B championship. That's what will follow this game on Channel 9. Class B, then it's Class A. Unbeaten Lakeville, once beaten Staples Motley. And sometime tonight, we promise you there will be a double-A game. Blaine, which beat Stillwater twice this year. What a fabulous year they've had. And Cretin Durham Hall with a great run in the postseason with a double-A championship. We have already seen Halleck from Northwest Minnesota win the 9-man championship. Minneota leading Rushford here 28-7, and for the second time in this quarter, a Rushford player will be taken out on a stretcher. And all of a sudden, when you see that happen to someone you sit next to in social studies class, maybe the score doesn't seem quite as significant.
148 enrollment, and so many of these football teams, by the time you get through playing 13 games, you've got a lot of banged up kids as it is. And
it is interesting that the system here where the schools play, the schools that are playing here today have all played 8 regular season games and then 6 playoff games. They virtually doubled their season in the postseason.
A lot of times it is a matter of which teams at this level where they don't have great numbers can stay healthy, keep their kids out there injury-free. And unfortunately for Rushford, they're losing their second man today to injury. And we just hope that Chase Kingsley, number 66, will be back in time to enjoy his favorite winter sport, because undoubtedly these guys all have another activity in the winter. That looked more like a knee.
It's the worst part of football. It's be nice somehow, some way, if some miraculous thing could occur and those injuries could be prevented. Rushford has the ball. They have a 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. 3:51 remaining in the half. And they need to really put it in the end zone here. Probably to bolster their own morale and confidence more than anything else. Out of the line comes Dana Grimsrud. Helleland and Sand are the running backs. And the snap count draws Minneota.
Minneota's going to say they were reacting to the movement by number 58, Jalom, but this time I think it might go against Minneota.
No.
Yep, offside on Minneota.
I think that was the cadence. I think Grimsrud's cadence drew them there, and Fontaine, 72, knew it as soon as he moved. I think he was reacting to the cadence.
Grimsrud might well be calling plays at the line of scrimmage too. Minneota really spread out on defense that time. It looked like Rushford would have had an advantage if they tried to run the ball up the middle, and he might have been switching signals, but something confused Minneota. They jumped.
First and goal now from about the 3-yard line. And there is Helleland, and he is off the middle and then peeling to the left side and stopped short.
Notice the Minneota defense, they have 3 guys really up on each corner. It looks like they're trying to seal off the corners and conceding a little bit up the middle, and that's where Rushford tried to go, recognizing that.
And what that's telling you too is that Minneota believes a lot in their middle people, that they don't need a lot of help.
And they've got Esping and
Fontaine
up there, a couple of 200-pounders plus.
Second and goal. And they don't get anywhere. John Long. And knifing through was David Dovry, 44, and Tim DeVlaming to knife that play down.
Dovry, a 180-pounder, sneaks through there along with Rick Gosson, and they lose yardage on this play. There's not much room to lose, but Dovry is right up there high and Gosson down low. Lom is driven back.
I'm sure Rushford's going to watch films of this game someday and try to figure out how these Minneota defenders are in their backfield so quickly. Third down, and now they have almost 2 yards to go. Grimsrud to throw it, and it is caught for a touchdown. Beautiful grab on a ball that should have been intercepted. And Aaron Hungerholt caught it for a touchdown.
Hungerholt 6'1", and evidently the plan was there, throw it up high and have him just go over the defensive back, because I'll tell you, Grimsrud threw this ball to a man who was covered, as Ted said. But he just threw it high, and Hungerholt got behind the defender, made the catch.
I'll tell you, the defensive back for Minneota could not, James Lean, I don't think he could get himself squared to jump. If he'd been able to square and jump, he would have picked that ball off. Instead, Hungerholt catches it for the touchdown, and here he is now to add the extra point. And it is good. So with 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the first half, Rushford has gone twice down the field, and you have to give Rushford some credit on this point. Here's a Minneota team that has only given up 78 points all year, and Rushford's gone twice down the field on him in the first half.
Well, judging from Hungerholt here, I'd say he's a member of that basketball team too. A nice play on the point guard, Grimsrud, beating Hungerholt underneath, and he scores it. 28-14 now for Rushford, and a crucial 2:07 remaining until halftime, because we know that's enough time for Minneota. They certainly have the weapons. The question now if Rushford can stiffen up a little bit and give their defense some much-needed confidence as they prepare for the second half.
Now the story, I mean, is not brain surgery to figure this game out. Minneota's had the ball 4 times. They've scored 4 touchdowns. Eventually, Rushford's defense is going to have to stop Minneota somehow, some way. Else all the Rushford offensive drives will mean nothing. But give Rushford some credit. Hey, they've gone 69 and 68 yards for touchdowns in 1 half against an awfully good football team. Hennon picks up that ball on a bounce and about the 6-yard line and does not get it to the 20.
Quickly downfield for Rushford. Number 71, Todd Goodmanson. Took a line straight to the ball carrier and held him short of the 20-yard line. So now Gerhard Might has a decision. Will they try to move the ball down the field? If they do make a mistake here deep in their own end, Rushford could conceivably cut into the margin before halftime.
Clock moving with less than 2 minutes to play in the half now. Van Voren. And they don't waste any time. Right up in the air and a completion for a first down to Craig Bicey.
Gerhard Might was right there on the sideline with the official. He thought the man was tackled out of bounds and would have stopped the clock, but the official signals that the clock is to continue running. It stops, of course, for the first down marking, but now they're going to roll it again, but Minneota is up and ready to go as the whistle blows.
And this is
couldn't tell who had that ball for the longest time.
I'll tell you, that was beautifully executed. I'll tell you, did a great job on the fake. There was James Lane, 33. He suckered 2 linemen in himself. And it turns out to be Eric Hennon carrying into the 37. A minute and 20 to play in the half. 2nd down and 5. This pass is caught by Bicey. He's to the 45. He has a first down. Well, that is Hennon again.
Rushford did a good job applying some pressure here to Van Voren, but he calmly dropped it off in the flat over the outstretched arms of the oncoming lineman. And it's another first down.
And now Rushford has taken a defensive timeout. Again, this is a situation where the no huddle puts the defensive team really on the defensive, forcing them to take a timeout.
Of course, you've got a lot of guys who go both ways. If they look around at each other and someone sees that some key people are exhausted, why, who's to second guess the decision?
No,
but
no
it does give Minneota a break. They still have 1:10 to go, and they haven't had to use one of their 2 timeouts.
And Minneota has the ball at their 46-yard line with a 1st and 10.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have a look at the Waseca marching band. Had to get in a plug for Waseca. That's my parents' hometown. They wouldn't forgive me. Lots of friends and relatives down in Waseca.
Being a St. Paul native, are you feel like a Cretin-Durham might be able to do it tonight? Do you have any St. Paul sympathies there?
Yes, I do. And since I won't be doing that game, I'll unashamedly say that I'm going to root for Mal Scanlon's team, but they'll have a formidable opponent there because anybody who takes out Stillwater twice.
Mark Tillemans is kept in bounds there by Rushford on the far side. He just crosses midfield. The clock continues to run. 55 seconds. It is 2nd down, and Minneota's ready to go as soon as they can put the ball down. And Van Voren wastes no time. A little shovel pass inside, and that's going to get to the 45-yard line. Lean on the carry there. And now Minneota will take a timeout. They'll have 3rd down and about 1.5 yards. Andy Higham making the tackle there for Rushford.
Rushford's doing a good job here, not giving up big chunks of yardage, and now that clock is more on their side than Minneota's. Just the 1 timeout left after the timeout here.
.40 seconds in the half, and it's 28-14, Minneota leading.
Interesting call here on 3rd and 1. They could probably call something safe and get the first down, but they may elect to go for the big one, thinking they've got the 4th down if they don't get it.
The whole concept here is interesting, Jim, because Minneota would have been very easily understood if they chose to just run the clock out. Yet they have come out aggressively starting from their own territory, and they're trying to push more on the board.
He always has his kids thinking assertively that they can get it accomplished no matter what the time or the situation.
Van Voren. And it's incomplete. He hit Bicey in the numbers, and Bicey could not hang on. He was covered by Grimsrud and Eric Bieberdorf, 36.
Let's see if one of the Rushford fellas gets a hand on this ball. Van Voren rolls out to his left, going for Bicey downfield, and a little bit of traffic there. Now it looked like Van Voren did a good job getting the ball in there. It just wasn't caught.
And here's the 4th down play, and Tillemans gets the first down. They had 4th and 1.5 yards, and off the left side, Tillemans gets it for a first down. Minneota now with 29 seconds. They have 1 timeout remaining, and they're right there at the line ready to go. Here's Van Voren. Lobbing it as a man open, James Lean, and he's down at the 25-yard line.
Really a perfect play because Lean is able to take it in stride, get some extra yards, and run to the sideline. And now with 19 seconds to go, Minneota's going to have a shot to put some more points up.
You know, it's amazing as we watch Van Voren again here, Jimmy. Watch the ball. Every throw he's made has been right on the money. His accuracy has been terrific.
For a guy in his first year as a quarterback.
Rolling to the middle of the field and throwing it out, and that was the first tough ball he's really thrown, but that one he was going the wrong way on. Short to Lean, incomplete with 14 seconds.
There's Van Voren, the big windup. He had to short arm a little bit here.
He really tried to wind up and gun that, didn't he? 14 seconds, 26 yards away, and they still have a timeout, so they can run a play to the middle of the field safely. On the play fake.
Screen.
And Hennon is tripped up from behind and brought down. They'll have to use the timeout here at the 26-yard line. They use it with 5 seconds left. John Lahm did a nice job defensively there for Rushford. And Rushford has played this defensively pretty well. They've bent, but they're not breaking.
Take a look here as the fake is long. They flip the screen out. Number 83, Jim Larson, gets a hand in there and knocks down Bicey. Now just 5 seconds to go. I don't think they have enough range here in the kicker, Devlamic, to try one from 40-plus yards. That would be rare for a high school kicker, even with these ideal conditions. So we might see the old trips to one side and get your best jumper down there and see what happens.
Do you know what, Jimmy? I think a lot of coaches at higher levels of football ought to learn a lesson from watching a guy like Gerhard Might. I like the way his team has gone at it here. I mean, it would have been so easy to run the clock out, but they've come right back at him, and it's probably a pretty good lesson for his kids as well.
See if he's got any. I think they're going to
try it. Look at that. And Gerhard Mike's out there carrying Devlamic's regular shoe off. 43 yards, near side. Got a bad angle, as you can see from that shot. Van Voren is holding. High snap. And they had no chance there. A very high snap, almost over Van Voren's shoulder. Devlamic had no chance. The rush was in too quickly. And that ends the first half, with Minneota being stopped only by the clock from scoring for the first time in the half. But Gerhard Might's team looking for its 37th consecutive win and looking for its 3rd straight state championship, and they take a 28-14 lead into the locker room at halftime over Rushford. 14 points. That's as many points as anybody has scored against Minneota this year. And to talk with Coach Jim Reinhardt about it is Dick Bramer. Dick?
Thanks, Ted. Jim, how important was that second touchdown drive late in the first half?
Oh, I think that's the big deal. We don't do that. I don't think we're in a game anymore. I think now we're in a football game. We got a chance. I think we'll come back and play with them.
How tough is it going to be to come from behind with the 2 leg injuries that you suffered?
We've got one of the things we've had going for us all season is a great deal of depth. We've got kids that can come on and play, so it's unfortunate that they got injured, but we have other players.
I know that you came into this game knowing that Minneota can put up a lot of points, but did they do anything in the first half that took you a bit off guard?
No, we just didn't handle them. No surprises.
Okay, Jim, thank you very much. Good luck in the second half. Let's go back upstairs.
Okay, thanks, Dick. Straight shooter Jim Reinhardt. His team back in the game, trailing Minneota by 14 points at the intermission. Minneota 28, Rushford 14 at the 7th Minnesota State High School Prep Bowl.
Well, we had a very explosive first half by the Minneota Vikings. They lead Rushford 28-14 as Minneota looks for its 3rd consecutive Class C state championship. It's interesting because Minneota jumped out with their explosive offense early, but Rushford actually did quite well offensively compared to the other teams Minneota has played this year. 14 points in a half for Rushford equals the most any team has scored in a game against Minneota this year. But Minneota scored its first 4 possessions, putting the ball in the end zone, and that's really it. If Rushford's defense is unable to stop Minneota in the second half, really the story of the game won't change an awful lot. The game began with the first touchdown scored by Mark Tillemans. This was after a 38-yard Minneota drive coming off a fumble recovery. Tillemans making it 7-0. Minneota with a 3-yard run. Rushford, though, came back impressively, went 69 yards to score, and John Lom did that honor on a 1-yard run off the left side. Tied the game at 7. But the ensuing kickoff was returned by Eric Hennon of Minneota all the way to the Rushford 29-yard line. Minneota had a rather easy time taking it, although it was a strange play that got them in. Boyd Van Voren trying to sneak and watch the ball pop free. Into the end zone it goes, and there are 2 Minneota players closest to it. Kurt Bicey was the man who recovered it for a touchdown, making it 14-7 Minneota. After an interception, a 47-yard drive by the Vikings. And it culminates in this 1-yard pass from Van Voren to James Lean. 21-7 Minneota. Rushford forced to punt. Minneota taking over, and this time they went 70 yards. Their one drive from their end of the field in the entire half to score, capped off on Tillemans' 1-yard run for his second touchdown of the half. 28-7 Minneota. And then Rushford came back with what Jim Reinhart told Dick Bramer was the key for them. They got back in the game with a 68-yard drive of their own. And watch the catch here. Dana Grimsrud with the pass, and Aaron Hungerholt out jumping James Lean to catch it. That was with just 2 minutes to go in the half. And the halftime score is 28-14 Minneota. No question that Rushford has to feel positive about that 68-yard drive, but again, the second half I think is going to come down to whether Rushford's defense can stop Minneota offensively at all. They were unable to do it in the first half. The only time Minneota did not score was when they ran out of time just before halftime, tried a long field goal that missed. Statistically in the first half, well, there's your story right there. Look at actually the time of possession is incredible. Minneota only had the ball 7 minutes and 50 seconds. That's because they are so efficient and play without a huddle that in just 8 minutes of football, they could still gain 250 yards in offense. That is simply incredible. And the efficiency of Van Voren, passing-wise, also a story. 11 out of 15 for Minneota, 116 yards. Now that, Jim Gilliland, is really an amazing feat. Here's a quarterback calling his own plays, and in just 7 minutes and 50 seconds of football can lead his team to 250 yards in offense.
That time of possession statistic, normally in college or pro ball where there's completely different units, you count that as wearing the defense down. But if guys are going both ways, I wouldn't think it really matters a lot as far as who's got the ball. If you're playing all the time, you're going to get tired. And Rushford, although Jim Reinhart said they do have a good deal of depth, has lost a couple of people to injury, and we'll see if that tells as we get underway here in the second half. Rushford will kick it off.
And that's where it may tell, is that Rushford is going to have to exert themselves even more defensively to try and keep Minneota off the board. And that may tell a little bit on their offensive performance. I think we saw that a bit with Stewart at the end of our 9-man game against Halleck. All right, we're about set for the kickoff.
I'd like to pay tribute to Goodrich Grigla, a team from northern Minnesota that beat Halleck twice this year. And now they're looking on as Halleck becomes the 9-man champion. Goodrich Grigla won 36-30 and again 29-14 during the regular season. Those are the only 2 losses Halleck had, and then Halleck came on to beat unbeaten Stewart 35-24 in the 9-man game.
All right, Minneota will get the ball first here in the second half. A kick bounces, hits Eric Hennon in the hands. He picks it up at the 10, and Hennon is out just across the 20-yard line, and that is where Minneota will start in the second half. Their first 4 possessions, they started in Rushford territory. The battle of field position was clearly Minneota's in the first half, and they took advantage of it.
Rushford does a good job on this kickoff, holding them down to the 21-yard line. Now Minneota at least has a long drive ahead of them if they're going to score.
And a 3-yard handoff off the left side to Tillemans. Jim Larson on the hit for Rushford. Tillemans was the leading ball carrier in the first half. He ran for 85 yards on 13 carries. Tillemans ran for just under 900 yards during the season. Rushford now, the officials have been stopping the clock an awful lot in this game, and they stop it now so that a Rushford defensive player who seems to be slightly injured can leave the field, and that is Todd Goodmanson.
Another big man in there, 6 feet 192 for Goodmanson as he limps over to the far side of the field.
A 2nd down and 7. As now Van Voren brings Minneota back to the line. Out of a double wing, and it is Tillemans again, and Tillemans is out across the 30-yard line, and he's near a 1st down. Running out of the double wing, it's amazing, Jimmy. He has no lead blocking back, and still Tillemans able to rack up good yardage.
They just rely on their linemen to misdirect the play, if you will. The pulling guard leaves the hole, and the defensive lineman goes with him. Tillemans fills that gap well. He's now approaching the 100-yard mark.
Van Voren to Lean, who has it, gets away from one defender, and then is spun out by Helleland at the 40-yard line.
That one he laid up just a little bit longer than I think he wanted to. Was almost picked off on the play by Laum as he was trying to guard Hennon here in the flat. Went for the interception, almost had a hand on it, but Lean takes it up near another 1st down.
Van Voren pitching late on the option to Hennon, or to Tillemans, I should say, had to wait for it, and is brought down at the 39-yard line.
Defense closing quickly, not giving Van Voren a chance to hold on to the ball long enough to get the option man open. He pitched it way before he wanted to, and
one of those two-way standouts, Jason Dahl, made the hit for Rushford. Big 3rd down here. They run a counter play for the 1st down. Lean out to midfield, and there's the type of play that'll break Rushford's back. 3rd and 3, and Lean runs for 11 yards on a counter play before Ron Sand brings him down.
A little misdirection again. The guards pull to the right side, and the hole is filled up the middle. James Lean takes it.
1st down at midfield. Shovel pass to Eric Hennon, and that's stopped for a short gain. Corey Baker was in on that tackle. So was John Laum. And Jason Dahl gets up. There you see also 62, Tim Kingsley got in there to help stop that play. Flags down as Van Voren takes the snap. Legal procedure penalty against Minneota. As soon as they put that ball down again, here's Van Voren right back at the line. Ball is dropped. It may have been tipped by John Laum, and then it eventually got to Noel Hazard, but he couldn't hang on.
Twice now, Laum's been in pretty good position to defend. That time he came even closer than the play a moment ago. He was right in the path of this ball, leaps up. I think he got a hand on that. At any rate, it was enough to throw Hazard off, and the ball falls incomplete. Now 3rd and long for Minneota.
Here's your chance for Rushford. They forced Minneota to 3rd and 13. A very short 13 or a very long 12. Deep drop by Van Voren, and his pass is incomplete. It should have been picked off as there were 3 Rushford players there defending against Hazard. Eric Bieberdorf, 36, was the key man there, and for the first time in the game, Minneota will be forced to punt.
Bieberdorf and Ron Sand, either one of them could have made a play on this ball, and they just kind of got mixed up there. Sand looked like he had the ball in his sights, but then Bieberdorf came in and disrupted the thing, and at least it forces Minneota to punt, something they haven't had to do yet today.
Noel Hazard is the punter for Minneota. 2 deep backs for Rushford. Boy, a high and an errant snap, but there's no rush on, and Hazard's able to get a kickoff. And it's not a very good one from the Minneota standpoint. It bounced back to the 30-yard line, so just a 22-yard punt for Minneota gives Rushford decent field position, all things considered. They'll start at the 30-yard line. 9:15 to go, third quarter. Come back with us and see if Rushford can really make a game of this in Class C. The last thing we need is bashfulness today. There we go. Come on. Smile. And we have a first down for Rushford as they start at their 30-yard line, and we'll pause for station identification on the Minnesota State Prep Bowl Network.
KMSP TV, Minneapolis and St. Paul.
All right, now we'll play some ball with Rushford on their 30-yard line. First down, Minneota leading 28-14 in the third quarter with 9 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the third.
Last year's Class C championship, Minneota scored all their points in the first half, and they don't want that to happen again because it looks like Rushford has enough weapons to get back in it if Minneota doesn't put any more points up.
First down play, and it's Ron Sand on the carry. Tim DeVlamink on the tackle, and it's an 8-yard gain. Just a nice big hole there for Sand. Rushford probably feels a lot more comfortable with him carrying the ball than trying to tackle somebody else carrying it. He's a little bit light for the defensive side of the football. Second down and 2. Option pitch to Lom, and he is going to be right at the first down marker at the 40-yard line.
You've got to be impressed with Ron Sand. He really stuck his nose in there as the first man in for the fake on the option series. Made it look, freeze those defensive linemen for a second, make it look like he's going to carry the ball in there. And then the pitch is gone to the outside now. You don't see it there, but Lom got it up very near the first down. They're going to bring the chain across.
Quinn Chow, number 34, made the tackle there for Minneota. I'll bring the chains all the way across for the measurement. Well, there's another one right on the tip of the football. And it's a first down. The camera angle must have been deceiving.
Look out, Jason Dahl checking in with a play call here for Rushford. Well, if he's calling the play, he didn't get in there soon enough. But let's see if he's a big play man again in the second half as he was in the first.
First down, and the ball is given to Helleland off the left side, and he gains just a couple to the 43. It's kind of interesting to watch the kids play so quickly that they're ready to play before the linesmen have got the down markers back on the sidelines. I kind of like that about football, don't you? When these guys get out there and play.
I think when they get to this level, that sometimes is the difference in high school athletes. The ones who know what they want to do and they're confident that they can do it, they're eager to go after it. And we see that in both teams in this game.
7:45 to play in the third quarter. Option pitch to Sand. He's in trouble and loses about 2 yards on the carry. Rick Gosson, number 60, strung that play out nicely for Minneota. And Rushford now will face a 3rd and 9.
This is curious. Minneota is just substituted 9 players on third down. A little unusual, but no doubt a quicker lineup, a pass defense lineup into the ball game for the Vikings.
It's been their custom in this game. On 3rd and long situations, they bring in a new defensive alignment. Grimsrud, and his pass caught by Dahl. A key catch for a first down in Minneota territory. They didn't have a lot of room to operate there, and they got that pass in.
That's the play they tried to run in the first half to the tight end Dahl, but the defender was able to get his hand on it in that instance. This time Dahl catches it, turns it up for the first down before he's knocked out of bounds.
DeVlamink, look where he is again. 55, the nose tackle. Look where he is to make this play. He's all over the field defensively. Excellent player. First down from the Minneota 46 as Sand takes it off the left side for a good gain. David Dovry making the tackle.
Rushford moved the Minneota people off the ball that time. In this series, at least, they're winning some of that battle up front.
getting good gains of first down. They're going to have second down here in a short 5.
And of course, the longer they can keep Minneota off the field, better chance of that powerful offense getting a little bit out of sync.
Got a man out there, but they can't quite get it. A Sands option pass for Shane Rizlov. Led him too far. And now it's going to be 3rd and 5 for Rushford.
Well, they thought they had that play set up because that's the kind of a play that you really want to be confident that the man is going to break free before you run it. But Minneota was on the spot. Two defensive backs out there covering Rizlov on the play, and it goes incomplete.
Here's the big play for Rushford. 3rd down and 5. Grimsrud in trouble, and he overthrows his man badly. He just got rid of that ball and unloaded it. Intended for Jim Larson. Jason Poland on the pressure. And now Jim Reinhardt with a decision to make, as it will be 4th down, 5 yards to go from the 41-yard line of Minneota.
Now they keep the same people in there.
Yeah, he's got to go for it, right?
There's not a lot to be gained. Unless you can pin him down on the 2-yard line. That's not always that easy.
Grimsrud's in trouble. He's got a man, and he completes the pass to the 10-yard line. What a play by Grimsrud to Shane Rizlov. Win Chow on the tackle.
It'll be interesting to see if this was supposed to be that deep a pattern or if they improvised once Grimsrud got in trouble. Looked like Rizlov stopped short and then kind of broke it deep once he saw Grimsrud struggling, and they made eye contact, and the result is a big play and a 1st down on the Viking 11.
At the 11-yard line, 1st down and 10, so they can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown here. And the give is to Sand, and he's stopped after a very short gain. Kurt Bicey made the first hit for Minneota. And Grimsrud's elusiveness, Jim, has been really something. I wasn't expecting this from him.
He's got the sleight of hand artistry, and it's working well here. Rushford would gain a lot of momentum if they could push it over.
2nd down. Again, they can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown. Grimsrud caught at the 5-yard line. I believe that's Hungerholt. Yes, it is. Aaron Hungerholt, who caught a touchdown pass in the 1st half. James Lean on the tackle. The ball is just shy of the 5.
Minneota, I will say one thing about Minneota. They are making the Rushford players get up slowly on almost every play. We saw Sand on the previous carry, and then they tagged Hungerholt real well.
Sound tackling team, aren't they?
Good defensive club. Nobody has scored more than 14 on them, so Rushford is about to do something nobody else has been able to do if they can put it over.
3rd down just outside the 5. Grimsrud gonna run it, and he's gonna be run out of bounds, shy of the 1st down. Esping running him out of bounds. We'll see where the mark is, but he's well short of at least the 1st down, let alone the touchdown. Well, he's got a good 2.5 yards just to get to the 1st down. Grimsrud, the one hope he had there was to try if he could stop himself short and kind of cut behind the pursuit. He was unable to do that. It ran right out of bounds. So now it is 4th down for Rushford. They need to get to the 1-yard line for a 1st down. That's 2.5 yards from where they are now. Big play. Grimsrud lobbing it, and it is caught. Touchdown! Hungerholt with his 2nd touchdown catch, and what a play that is to call on 4th down, huh?
Grimsrud made a great play. Watch him look off to the left here and kind of fool that defensive back on the other side just for a second. He catches him peeking in, and that's enough for him to lay it out over the outstretched arms. And the touchdown is good to Hungerholt for the score.
I'll tell you, that had to catch everybody in this building by surprise to run that play on 4th down.
You'll see that play perhaps try a lot in that situation, but now where the quarterback is cool enough to look over to the other side for such a long period of time and then quickly look back and flip it out there. Great play for Rushford.
And the extra point is good. So, folks, we have a football game. Stay with us. 4 minutes and 39 seconds remain in the third quarter. Minneota has won 36 straight. Rushford's going to make them work for 37.
We'll get a look again at the Rushford touchdown as they draw within 7. Grimsrud makes the play appear like it's going to go to the left, and then peeks back to the far side of the field and lays it out for Hungerholt just over the outstretched arms of the Minneota defender, Vlamic, and we have a 7-point ball game.
Most points scored by any team against Minneota all year.
Grimsrud doesn't even get the rest on the kickoff team. He's out there again.
And running catch by Hennon, and he's out across the 40 before he's gang tackled, and he gets Minneota good field position. Second good kick return by Hennon in the game, and he's out across the 45-yard line.
Well, Minneota stopped for the first time in this game, really, on their first possession of the second half. Now goes back to the attack as you see the return again for Hennon out to the 45.
First down, Van Voren quickly to work, and a give to Hennon, and he's hit for a loss. Defensively right in the backfield was Mike Rasmussen, 72.
Rushford is riled up.
Let's go down now to Dick Bremer with a special guest. Dick?
Mary Reinhardt, the coach's wife, is with us, and Mary, spirits seem to have picked up since the first 20 minutes of the football game in the Rushford section.
They sure have. We're real proud of our boys.
One quick question. Is it tougher on the coaches emotionally or the coaches' wives?
Oh, it's been real tough. Few games. It's fun, though.
Mary, thanks so much. Let's go back upstairs.
You can tell Mary was more interested in getting it back to watch the game herself. I don't blame her.
Yeah, it sounds like she's losing that voice a little bit, which is always the sign that they played. This is their 6th playoff game, so I can imagine she's been getting some vocal exercise.
Tillemans brought down by Larson. Here's a 3rd and 11 play, and Van Voren's pass is incomplete. Short hop by James Lean, and Minneota will go 3 downs and out.
Well, James Lean thought he might have gotten that ball, but there's 2 officials right on top of the play, and they both signaled incomplete. So, Van Voren comes up short again, and they will have to kick it.
Noel Hazard will do the punting. Helleland and Sand are 2 deep backs, double deep backs for Rushford. Twin safeties to receive the punt at 3:25 to play in the 3rd quarter. Fair catch now waved, and Helleland takes it at the 26-yard line, and that's where Rushford will start. But this 3rd quarter has given this game a whole new look, as the momentum is clearly switched to the Trojans of Rushford. They're down 7 and have the ball. Ted Robinson, Jim Gilliland at the Metrodome Class C Prep Bowl championship game.
It's gotten a little bit more noisy in here. I think people, those non-partisans, are kind of pulling for the underdog. You'd have to consider Minneota a heavy favorite off of all of their success, and they're missing 3 busloads at least that didn't get up because of the weather. And I'm sure those fans are a little more tense than they'd like to be watching at home right now.
Quick give into the line by Grimsrud. It stopped for a short gain. The Vlamic in there again. Lesping, David Dovry. His front for Minneota's played pretty well. Fontaine, 72. Their defensive front people make a lot of tackles. It's a sign of a good defensive football team. 2nd down and 9 now after a 1-yard gain. Game into the line to John Lom, and this time he pushes the pile back a bit. Gets it out across the 30.
Big 3rd down play. Rushford would like to keep the ball for a couple of first downs at least, and win the battle of field position, being able to put Minneota deeper than they would like to be. And 3rd and about 4, long 4, maybe 5 yards here.
2:15 to play in the 3rd quarter. Minneota 28, Rushford 21. Dana Grimsrud Quick slant pass, and it's caught by Hungerholt for a first down.
Grimsrud noted the one-on-one coverage out there in the left flat. You watch him just stand up and fling it out to Hungerholt, is being watched over there by Quinn Chow. Ball thrown low where only Hungerholt can get it, and it's enough for the first down at the 39.
Hungerholt has taken over a larger role since Brian LaFleur left with an injury in the first half for Rushford. Give is inside for a short gain to Brian Helleland for Bicey on the tackle. Minute 35. Third quarter. Rushford had the time of possession edge dramatically in the first half. And they've improved on that in the third quarter, but they've improved on it in a better way. They're actually moving the ball and stopping Minneota themselves. Here's Grimsrud.
A lot of room over there, but
pass is incomplete with a flag down, and that's a bad flag if you're on the Rushford side.
Back in that holding territory, it was also fortunate that the pass wasn't intercepted. Grimsrud threw it into a crowd there. Holding call looks like it's on Lom there. It looks like he had a piece of the jersey. And then Grimsrud trying to flip it in the middle and was almost picked off. It'll either be 3rd and 8 or 2nd and 18. Well, now they're going to mark it from the spot of the foul.
It's going to be 2nd and a lot.
Well, they do mark it from the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 18 for Rushford on their own 31. Jason Dahl has been a name that's been called in these long yardage situations.
Hungerholt split right here. He's covered. Grimsrud's in trouble. Dumps it out. It's incomplete. Corey Baker, one of the linemen, tight end type, was the man who was trying to catch that ball with Dennis Swedzinski on the coverage. And now Rushford, that holding penalty really may have taken a little bit of steam away from him. Now facing 3rd and 18 from their 31.
Dahl is the tight end on the left side. We'll keep an eye on him. The receivers both ways.
Get on. There you go, baby.
Pass to Dahl. He has it at the 35, but that's all he'll get. Stopped well short of the first down. So good defense there by Minneota. And it was Jerry Storley.
Again, a good play by Grimsrud, rolling to the left and buying some time, throwing back across his green to Jason Dahl, but he took it up a little bit short of the first down, 4th and 3. And Grimsrud.
John Lom punting. Boy, they bounce it in, and he just gets it off and does a great job. Hennon fielding it on the run at the 35. And he's down at the 37 or 38. John Lom saved the day there for Rushford, fielding a snap on one bounce and then getting off a good punt. Oh, 14 seconds to play now in the 3rd quarter.
Fake a reverse there and take it upfield to the 39. And now the Minneota fans are exhorting the troops, want to get something going on offense here to stem the Rushford tide. 3rd quarter has come to an end, however.
So Minneota will have pretty decent field position when we start the 4th quarter. After 3 at the Dome, it is Minneota 28 and Rushford 21. Along with Jim Gilliland, Ted Robinson back at the Dome, where we start the 4th quarter of what appeared in the first half to look like it could be another Minneota blowout, but Gerhard Meit's team's been getting his hands full here from Rushford. It is 28-21 Minneota. To start the 4th quarter, the Vikings have the ball on the 39-yard line, first down. Minor out to the 47-yard line. If you're tuning in expecting to see the Breckenridge Morris Class B championship game, you will see it. But we're had a long game here. We're running a little bit behind schedule, and that game will follow ours immediately.
We understand we're going to have a good audience from those two communities as well, Breckenridge and Morris. A number of people, if not all of the people who tried to get down from those northern communities today were stopped by the weather.
And that's a first down carry for Tillemans as he moves it into Rushford territory. Corey Baker, the bottom of the pile there for Rushford. First down now for Minneota. They're at the 48-yard line of Rushford.
Rushford looks to be getting worn down a little physically, but every time you think they're going to slip, they come up with a big play, and they fought their way back into this game.
Swing pass to Lean down the sideline for a gain of a couple. Jason Dahl pushing him out.
Looks like he picked up about 5 yards on the play.
We got a good mark there.
Yeah, he did it.
Generous mark.
I didn't see any official step to the sideline.
All the way down to the 43-yard line with 5 yards. Tillemans pulls it up the middle, and he's close to a first down.
Minneota looks like they're taking a nice, safe approach to this drive. They're going to concentrate on trying to whip them up front and put the ball in the end zone and pad this lead a little bit.
We're going to have to measure here, and that carry gives us our third 100-yard running back of Prep Bowl. Mark Tillemans now at 100 yards for Minneota on 18 carries.
5'10", 187-pound senior, number 22 in the blue.
It's first down. And here's Minneota again. They're at the line, and the down marker is yet to get back to the other side of the field. Quickly, these people are ready to play. Tillemans, left side, and he's racked up after a short gain.
Did a good job of closing off the area in the middle, forcing Tillemans to bounce outside where the pursuit caught up with him. You can see just some straight blocking, and that hole is supposed to be off the left tackle. Tillemans bounces outside where Sand and others wrap him up for Rushford.
Counter handoff inside, big hole for Hennon. He spins all the way down to the 25-yard line. That's another first down for Minneota. Dana Grimsrud finally made the tackle.
You see, he just forced the linebacker Baker to make a couple of steps to his right with the flow going that way, and the shovel pass caught him up inside, and they made a big play.
To the end zone, broken up beautifully. A nice dive by Grimsrud at the last moment to break up that pass.
And Van Voren got tagged as he got rid of that ball. Looked up like he thought he might get a flag on that. Number 62 for Rushford was in on him, Tim Kingsley. There's Grimsrud catching up on the other end of the play, getting that left hand up to stop a touchdown.
Noel Hazard was the intended receiver. And they stack up the inside handoff.
Those inside people stayed at home instead of following the flow upfield there. And boom.
Watch 72 here, Mike Rasmussen for Rushford. And Corey Baker, number 16.
Well, third and long.
Play fake, Van Voren. A lot of time. And he drills a bullet incomplete for a first down to Hazard inside the 15-yard line.
He showed a good arm on that play because there was not a lot of room to thread that ball in there. The defenders were giving a little bit of a cushion. Van Voren just zipped. Two white shirts close at hand.
That's a fastball down the pipe, isn't it?
The catch is made for a first down, Minneota.
Nice throw by
about the 4th shot that Tillemans has taken from the 16 down to the goal line. He's been stopped at the 1 several times. That time he rode the extra yard in for the score. Tillemans gets a good lead block up in there, a big hole, and then Grimsrud takes him on at about the 4. He pushes he and Helleland back into the end zone for the score.
That
good
is
hard running. Boom.
And Mark Tillemans with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And that didn't look very pretty, but DeVlaming got it through. And so Minneota going 61 yards at a very important time of the game, and they now lead Rushford 35-21.
There's Mark Tillemans, the senior tailback who has run so well and so hard for Minneota. Observe. First down carry, he gets hit on the 5 and drags a couple of men with him right into the end zone, and the result is a 14-point lead now for the Vikings.
Fleming with the kick, Helleland the catch, 10. And he is out to the 30. He's brought down. So Rushford starts there, trailing by 2 touchdowns, and let's go down to the sidelines and Dick Bramer.
We are with the Minneota cheerleaders, and they are
Jen Uranier, Sandy Lyson, Mary Ingles, Sue Bolleberg.
Sue, you were here last year. You won a state championship. Is it as much fun the 2nd year as it was the 1st year?
Yeah, it's great. I wouldn't mind coming here every year.
What about this Minneota team? You're looking for an unprecedented 3rd straight championship. Do you think you can do it?
Yeah, I think we can. It'll be great.
There were a few anxious moments there, weren't there? We're down by or up by just a touchdown.
Yeah, we're not done yet, but we're trying.
Folks in Minneota aren't counting anything before it actually happens, although things look a little bit better now, leading by 2 touchdowns. Guys?
Why is it every time we've seen Dick today, he's been around cheerleaders?
I had a chance to talk with those young ladies as we were waiting to come out of the tunnel there before the game, and they were lamenting the fact that 3 or 4 busloads from Minneota weren't going to be there to help them do their thing here in the near side. Weather just makes it hard to get down the I-90 corridor from Marshall. So they're enjoying that game, we trust, on Channel 9 as we get a look at the player coming off the field for Minneota, number 80, Dennis Stadzinski. And he's favoring that foot. Let's take a look at number 80 here on the right of your screen. Gets sandwiched in there a little bit. I'm trying to help get to the ball carrier and takes a late shot there on his right leg. Probably relaxed a little bit as he saw the ball carrier going down, and then boom.
Fortunately, he is able to semi-walk off the field. Here's Rushford now with a 1st down at their 30. Down by 2 touchdowns with 9:10 remaining. Into Grimsrud. Throw the ball a lot. Completes another one to Shane Rislow. Quinn Chow on the play for Minneota, and that's a 1st down across the 40.
Rushford right back at him. Grimsrud takes a straight drop this time, and he does a good job of looking all over the field. He had 3 receivers out on that play, checked on them all before drilling it in there for Rislow for the 1st down.
Grimsrud 17 out of 26. Very good percentage for the southpaw. Going long here to Hungerhold. He's open. He's got it. The defender fell, and it's a touchdown for Rushford. And there's the break that Rushford needed right away. The 3rd touchdown catch for Aaron Hungerhold.
Grimsrud gives a good look, rolling out this time, sees the one-on-one coverage. The man had a step, and then the defensive back lean fell down, and Hungerhold gathered it in. All he had to do was keep his balance, which isn't as easy as you might think on this carpeting. He can be slick down there for guys who aren't used to it. And Hungerhold regained his balance, went in untouched, and now Rushford striking quickly to stay in this ball game.
Extra point is good. 8 minutes and 45 seconds left. Still very much a game. It's been a fun one in Class C. Minneota 35, Rushford 28.
Jim Reinhardt said they'd give it all they've got here and see what they could come up with. And he does have a great-looking group of skill position athletes who are coming back. Here's the touchdown pass again. Dana Grimsrud to Aaron Hungerholt.
And another good kick return by Minneota's Eric Hennon, who runs the ball out across the 35 again. He's had 3 good ones today to give his team good field position. 8:39 to play, and it's 35-28 in favor of Minneota. And the Vikings take over at their 36. They won 61 yards to score in their last possession.
Rushford has been real good at striking back whenever Minneota has pushed out in front. Minneota with that commanding drive down the field, and then Rushford, in less than a minute, comes back and gets the touchdown that keeps him close.
Mark Tillemans had 3 touchdowns in this game as he's brought down by Rasmussen of Rushford. Tillemans is closing in on 1,000 yards for the season. By the way, the touchdown pass, Grimsrud to Hungerholt, that was 58 yards in length for Rushford, the 3rd connection of the game for that team to score. And that's almost intercepted. Oh, Van Boren really telegraphed that pass. That's the first time he's done that, and Grimsrud saw it all the way and almost had the pick.
Grimsrud literally all over the field. Sometimes that's just a cliche, but when you throw touchdown passes and are that close to getting interceptions, and you're some kind of football player. Dana Grimsrud laid out trying to get that ball, forces a 3rd down.
And it's a Hennon on a counter play outside, and Hennon picks up the 1st down. A big 3rd down play, and again the Vikings get a 1st down as Hennon takes it all the way out to midfield before John Laum runs him out.
Very confident group. Hennon was taking that ball around the end. Looked like he just was kind of going for a walk in the park, trying to decide whether he's going to take it up inside or keep sweeping out, and he turned it upfield and got a few extra yards. An important 1st down near midfield.
Inside counter, and James Lean takes it inside the 45. Jim Larson on the hit.
Now from Rushford's perspective, now they're giving up too much yardage on 1st down. That was another gain of 6 or 7 yards off the left side.
See, that's interesting. If the coach were calling the plays here, I think that Gerhard Might would tell Van Boren to keep it on the ground after that last near pick, keep the clock moving. But remember, Van Boren calls all the plays, and he does keep it on the ground, and they're racked up inside. That's going to leave him 3rd and short yardage.
If Minneota can take this drive on in for a touchdown, then it will be very tough because we'll be inside 5 minutes, and Rushford would need 2 scores.
Another hit by Jason Dahl.
Tight end going both ways, as many of these players do. 1st down.
They just, the short yardage plays Minneota's excelling on. And it was Tillemans off the left side for the 1st down.
Nice hole. Plenty of room to get the 1st down, plus 3 or 4 more yards.
The swing pass, and it is almost intercepted as it was tipped up in the air by Rushford. Another near interception. Steve Oyen almost.
Larson made the first play. He almost picked it clean out of the air, and then it bounced over to number 45, Steve Oyen, and he was knocked off the ball. So near disaster for Minneota, and Rushford just misses getting the big play that they're looking for here on defense.
Van Boren keeping it. Now the pitch on the option is juggled, and a nice job of catching it. Oh, Tillemans came close to losing the handle there, and he winds up holding on and getting it close to a 1st down.
Still about 2 yards to go for the 1st, but watch how close Tillemans is to losing it. As Ted said, he just bobbled that pitch, gets it forward, and picked up about 4 yards in the progress. Big play, 3rd and 2.
Gut check right inside, and Tillemans just puts the head down and barrels forward for the 1st down.
Football coaches like to talk about that leverage, and Tillemans was low. Larson tried to wrap him up around the top side, but the legs kept moving for Tillemans, and he just pushed through.
Oh, yes.
inside the 25.
Good camera angle to see those legs there. Andy Hyam made the tackle. First down at the 24. 5.5 minutes left. Minneota by 7. James Lean, and he is hit and brought down in the open field right away by Helleland, Brian Helleland.
Good open field tackle by Helleland, but in defense of Lean, he doesn't really have time to turn around and get a move on. Helleland's right there in his face, but textbook tackle makes it 2nd and 10.
5:05 to play, clock running. Tillemans, and he's hit down low, squirts forward for a couple, but again, Minneota will face 3rd and long. And again, Rushford with a chance to keep their hopes alive if they can stop on this play.
Inside 5 minutes now as Tillemans hit there. Looks like he's only going to get 1, but no, he struggles forward, makes maybe 4 yards out of the play. We have an official's timeout for some reason. Problem with the ball, perhaps.
Tillemans 139 yards rushing and 25 carries. Van Voren, the quarterback for Minneota, 16 of 25, 142 yards. He wants to throw again. The deep drop, long throw, far side, man open, touchdown, James Lean.
Well, Minneota had been stopped really in their passing game here for the better part of the 2nd half. They've been making hay on the ground, and this time the play is executed perfectly. Lean gets a step on the defender, and Van Voren lays it right toward the corner of the end zone. And it's another 2-touchdown gap for the Vikings. Nice pass. Lean takes it in full stride. And the extra point here makes it 42-28.
Hey, it's amazing. I don't know how many 3rd down plays Minneota can keep pulling out. They've done it all day long. It was 4:24 to play. They now lead by 2 touchdowns. Well, there's our score in our Class C championship game. Minneota's really been getting a scare here from Rushford, but the Vikings just able twice now in this 4th quarter to march down the field and score key touchdowns. And time now is the enemy of Rushford and not Minneota. John Long breaks through. John Long, and he's out near the 45-yard line. So the Trojans get good field position. Jeff Sussner will finally make the hit as Lom breaks up the middle. Good kick returns on both teams today.
Grimsrud now tries to get his team downfield within a couple of minutes because 2 touchdowns down with 4:08 to play.
And he's sacked. Grimsrud sacked behind the line. Van Voren was in on one part of that hit.
Nothing really open over there. He was looking for Rizlov, and he was just running a little out pattern that was well covered. And there you see
Tillemans, the other guy. The quarterback and the running back make the hit on Grimsrud. 2nd down and 12, and that one is caught nicely by Hungerholt, just short of the 1st down at the 47 of Minneota.
Now Grimsrud is adept at rolling either way. Sometimes those rollout quarterbacks are better one direction than the other, but he's able to pull up, set himself, zap it in there to Hungerholt.
3rd and a yard. Grimsrud wants to throw, and he does to Hungerholt again for the 1st down at the 42. Eric Hennon covering.
Of course, with those completions to the middle of the field, the clock goes again as soon as the change is set. Now we're almost at 3 minutes to play. 3:03. Hungerholt takes it to the 42.
Hungerholt now has caught 8 passes. Mason Dahl has caught 6. Here's Grimsrud again. And that's caught again. That's a 1st down to the 30-yard line and out of bounds Dragons with 2:46 to play.
Nice
Jim
job.
Larson.
Nice job by Larson. He's had to pick up the slack because of the injury to LaFleur. Picks up a gain of 12 and gets a first down. Grimsrud isn't a bad pitcher either.
Well, I say Grimsrud's been, to me, the best offensive player on the field today. He's 21 out of 30. That's 70% passing in a championship game against a defense that's been phenomenal all year.
Grimsrud has been outstanding. And remember, both he and Van Voren, his opposing quarterback, go both ways.
Up the middle goes Sand, and he's to the 20-yard line. For Craig Bicey brings him down.
That'll be a first down again, and they've got to stop the clock to move the chain, so Rushford trying to get their play together. Ron Sand shifts the ball as the tacklers approach. Guards against fumbling, picks up a first down. Well played.
Grimsrud in trouble, and he's collared coming in a face mask. That was Jerry Storling, who came in on the charge and had a grab of Grimsrud, and we'll see exactly where he got him here. Yep.
Right there, and I don't think there's any incidental type face mask at this level. I think they're going to mark off half the distance from inside the 30. A good break for Rushford, who will get to repeat first down.
Yeah.
2:28. It is becoming crucial. We both looked at the clock at the same time. Rushford still with their 3 timeouts. Has the possibility of trying an onside kick as well.
Now there's 2 flags down, and there were 2 different fouls signaled there by the referee. One was face mask, and one was illegal use of the hands. Both were called against Minneota. And I would assume then they would therefore have the choice of which penalty to accept. That's what is being explained right now to Gerhard Might on the Minneota sideline.
Ball does move from the 28 down to the 14.
Spot of the foul. So in essence, it winds up, it's half the distance from the spot of the foul. It's a 5-yard penalty from the original line of scrimmage.
And it is still first down.
And 5 yards. Now there's your story with 2:28 to go. Rushford needs to score quickly and get the ball back. Grimsrud throws it away. He was being pressured. Yep. Pressure was coming in from Mark Fontaine, and Grimsrud just heaved it out of the end zone.
Boy, look, see that he just beat the 2 linemen up in there, and
that's been the thing that's impressed me most about Minneota today. Their linemen have been incredibly quick off the ball defensively. They've given the Rushford linemen fits at passing situations.
There they are again. Right on him. No chance for Grimsrud.
Exactly right. And Grimsrud is not even able to get away from center before these guys are on it. Fontaine, they'll mark it back at the 22. Clock continues to run, and now Rushford's in some trouble.
They call a timeout.
Oh, boy, he just blew right through there. All right, now, if you're Jim Reinhardt on the sidelines, you walk him down and ask for volunteers to block 72. Anybody here can do it? Let's go.
Rushford is so close to, it seems like when Grimsrud has that extra second, he's capable of making the big play. But if you get on him that quickly, he just really doesn't have any room to get started. Fontaine at 5'9", 195 is dominating right now.
Doesn't play that way, does he? He's a lot bigger than 195.
Is he either going to be a ball player or an official, the way he's pointing there? I'm not sure.
Speaking of Prep Bowl news, a famous Creighton alum, Steve Walsh, had a big day today. Miami of Florida beat Arkansas 18-16. Walsh passed for nearly 400 yards.
A lot of those Creighton alums, including Coach Mel Scanlon, had planned a trip down to see that game today, but they have priorities now as Creighton is involved in the championship game.
3rd down and a long 12. And the rush is heavy again. Grimsrud throws it as he's brought down to the end zone, and it is
Intercepted.
Intercepted by James Lean. He wrestled it away from the receiver at the last minute with 1:51 seconds remaining, and that play may be the one that gives Minneota its third straight state title.
Grimsrud showing some athletic ability again as Fontaine is in there. Kurt Beisty also after him, and there the throw as good as he could make, but Lean makes an excellent play on the ball, slicing in front of the intended receiver.
I tell you, Fontaine is just having a field day in there. So now it's Minneota ball with 1:51 remaining. All three timeouts still are in the possession of Rushford, and they'll have to determine now how and if they will care to use them. Don't have a whole lot of choice here. They'll probably have to use one. They're not using one here, but I would assume they'll have to use them after each of the next two plays.
They're counting on Minneota to run a play quickly, and they do relatively quickly.
Boy, look at that. Look at that leg action. That may be a first down. Eric Hennon dragging people on his back, and he may have a first down. And if he does, that is the game.
Chains move, and of course Rushford has to take a timeout to prevent another 30 seconds from going by.
See, there was a classic case of defenders that were tackling the ball and not the man. The Rushford guys are in there trying to strip the ball away, knowing they need the turnover. And Lennon just kept his arms moving and wound up getting a first down. Eric Hennon did. And so with 1:14 remaining, Rushford has taken a timeout. They have 2 remaining, but now the outcome is no longer in doubt, and the Minneota Vikings are going to make it 37 wins in a row, 3 consecutive state championships.
Plenty of great offensive football in these first 2 games at the Metrodome. 3 more to go. Neighbor schools, Breckenridge and Morris, will get at it about 20 minutes from the end of this game. They're really only about 60 miles apart up there in the western central part of the state, but for the quirk of sectional division, they end up opposing each other here in the final round of the state tournament.
All right, let's pause now for station identification on the Minnesota State Prep Bowl Network.
KMSP TV, Minneapolis and St. Paul.
First down for Minneota with 1:14 remaining. And Boren going wide, pitching late on the option. Now, why in goodness name would they run that play is beyond me. But fortunately for Minneota, they recover that pitch. It's Jim Larson on the hit.
Got the fumble they needed, perhaps trying to get a few extra seconds off the clock by running wide, but you're right, Ted. It's a needless chance there on the pitch, but Minneota is not used to losing yardage on any play, so they'll try anything.
45 seconds, clock running. Van Boren today is 17 of 26, 166 yards and 2 touchdowns. And remember, he has called all the plays for this team that scored 42 points today as James Lean carries. His opposite number, Dana Grimsrud, is 21 of 32 for 277 yards and 3 touchdowns. And it has been an amazing day for both quarterbacks. We thank our spotters.
Just a heady game all around by him making the right decisions on the pitches and the passes to keep Rushford in this game throughout.
Yeah, another case where the losing coach should take a lot of solace in the fact that his team played a whale of a football game, their first loss of the year, but they put together a great football game against a team that I guess is as close to a football dynasty as any in this state.
These 2 sections continue hot in Class C competition. Minneota and Rushford representing their areas of the state well, southwest and southeast. Minneota wins again. in a great ball game. Have the award ceremony coming up shortly. And then get ready for the Class B championship.
Rushford fan section, where Gene Chelberg of Black Duck and Philip Johnson of Slayton, assisted by the Minnesota State.
Here come the Minneota team members along with Gerhard Might to accept the medals and the trophy. Winners of Class C. They're used to this. They've been through this routine a little bit before.
And on the opposite corner of the field, the Rushford team accepting the runner-up trophy. And it's always a good scene, touching scene, when the players go to thank the community for their support.
Rushford, Class C runner-up, 1988.
There is the Rushford team accepting the runner-up trophy. And
Dana Grimsrud, whale of a game today. A lot to be proud of, and they're the champs from Minneota.
Will make the presentation. Will the captains of the Minneota team
see Mark Tillemans in the middle there. He had a 100-yard rushing game and scored 3 touchdowns. Tillemans went over 1,000 yards on the season.
For Class C football for the 3rd consecutive year.
Well, that picture is for the 3 busloads from Minneota who didn't make it today. Your team is still champs. Gerhard Might, what a job the old superintendent has done. The Minneota Vikings win the shootout here from Rushford 42-28. Boyd Van Voorn, who took over as quarterback for Chris Might, the son of Gerhard Might. And there's the coach.
Was it ever a shootout, huh?
Great quarterbacking on both sides of the field. Number 10, Van Voorn in blue, and number 12, Grimsrud in white. As the proud champions now prepare to depart the Metrodome surface, and the next contestants have taken the field. There's the final score again from the Class C championship. Minneota winning by 14 points.
I will return to Prep Bowl 7 at the Metrodome in a moment. Well, I would guess now it's getting to be kind of old hat for Gerhard Might to do the winners interview. So right now we'll go down and visit with the coach of the 3-time state champion Minneota Vikings with Dick Bramer. Dick?
Ted, I promise no puns about it being old hat, but Gerhard, we see more of you around Thanksgiving than we see our families. Do you ever get tired of this?
Hey, I got to keep that hat on so the reflection won't bother the cameras. That's what they tell me. And once you start wearing it, the kids say you can't take it off till we lose. So it stays on every game, rain or shine. And it's gotten pretty wet a few times.
You said last night that this offensive line of yours is the best you've had in 23 years of coaching, and they sure showed it again here today.
They did an outstanding job. When we had to go run the ball, the last part of the ball game to control it, they did it. And we got the yardage. Mark Tillemans had a fine game at fullback, and our offensive line did a fine job.
It's almost as if you wanted to prove to people that, yes, Minneota has a good arsenal through the air, but you guys can run it too, because in your last 2 drives, you really grounded out on the ground.
Well, you got to have a good mix. I think we throw sometimes to be able to run, and sometimes you run and, you know, but it's got to be all there. And I guess the quarterback's got to have the opportunity to do either thing with them. I have an awful lot of respect for that Rushford team. I knew they were tough coming into the game. I didn't lose any of that respect for them. They sure come back, and their quarterback made a couple great plays on 3rd and long situations or 4th and long, and comes through and gets the yardage and gets the touchdown to keep them in the ball game. They got a fine football team, and it was a fun football game for us. I enjoyed those games.
Gerhard, first team ever to win 3 state championships in a row. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. That's fun.
All right, Gerhard Might, the winning coach again in 1988. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Minneota winning 42-28, and as the final score might indicate, Jimmy, the story of the game was really offense.
Yeah, we had 2 guys who went both ways, so the Pepsi-Cola company will present a $100 check each in the name of the offensive player of the game and the defensive player of the game to the Minnesota State High School League to assist in the fight against chemical abuse in the state's high schools. Boyd Van Voorn of champion Minneota in the blue conducted the offense and also played linebacker on defense, and Dana Grimsrud, who had the outstanding offensive game, also played in the secondary and thwarted many a Minneota aerial attempt. And so those two guys, for their all-around play, are honorees for the Class C championship. It's now history. Minneota has won their 3rd consecutive title, 42-28 over Rushford. Will return to Prep Bowl 7, the Minnesota State High School League Metrodome event, after these messages.